It starts subtly, doesn't it? A few more strands of hair in the brush than usual. The part in your hair seems a little wider. When you run your fingers through it, it just doesn't have that same body or weight it once did. You might even catch a glimpse of your scalp in the mirror under bright lights. And the most frustrating part is that you're doing everything right. You eat a healthy breakfast every morning, perhaps a wholesome bowl of oatmeal with seeds and fruit. You take your vitamins and you stay active. Yet, despite all your efforts, your hair seems to be getting thinner, more fragile, and a little lifeless. It's a quiet frustration that can deeply affect how you feel. What if I told you that one of the healthiest habits you've adopted could be unintentionally contributing to this very problem? It's a contradiction that, once understood, can change everything. For years, I've worked with women over 60 who share this exact story, and my heart goes out to every one of them. It's a deeply personal issue that often gets dismissed as an inevitable part of aging. You're told it's just hormones, genetics, or simply your age, and you're left feeling powerless, as if your body is betraying you. I want to assure you, this is not a personal failure, and you are not imagining things. The feeling of seeing your hair change is valid, and the belief that there's nothing you can do is one of the biggest misconceptions I encounter. The truth is, our bodies operate under a slightly different set of rules after 60, especially when it comes to digestion and nutrient absorption. What once worked perfectly for us might need a small, intelligent adjustment to keep delivering the results we expect and deserve. The core of the issue often lies in a hidden biological process, a silent reaction that happens in your gut long after you've enjoyed your meal. The problem isn't the oatmeal, the seeds, or the whole grains themselves. These are genuinely nutritious foods. The issue is an invisible component within them, known as an anti-nutrient. This sounds alarming, but it's a natural compound found in many plant-based foods. In certain circumstances, these anti-nutrients can act like a magnet for essential minerals, specifically the zinc and iron that your hair follicles desperately need to build strong, healthy strands. Instead of these minerals being absorbed into your bloodstream to nourish your hair from within, they get chemically bound and escorted out of your body. So while you are diligently ingesting these crucial nutrients, your hair follicles might be experiencing a state of chronic starvation. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to guide you through exactly how this happens, using a simple analogy that will make it all click into place. We will uncover the single biggest mistake many health-conscious women make when preparing their breakfast, a mistake that maximizes this mineral-blocking effect without them ever realizing it. You'll understand why expensive topical treatments and even general multivitamins can't solve the problem if this internal block remains in place. Most importantly, I will show you a simple, almost effortless adjustment to your daily routine that helps to neutralize this effect, essentially unlocking the full nutritional power of the healthy food you're already eating. This isn't about a restrictive diet or buying fancy products. It's about a small shift in preparation that can make a world of difference for the health and vitality of your hair. Before we dive into the science, I want to invite you to become part of this community of women who are choosing to age with strength and knowledge. If this topic of hair health and vibrant aging is important to you, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and like this video, as it helps this information reach others who might be feeling the same frustration. I would also genuinely love to read about your own experiences in the comments below. What has been your biggest challenge or question when it comes to your hair after 60? Sharing our stories is a powerful way to learn from one another. Now, let's explore the fascinating mechanism at play and reveal how you can take back control, starting with your very next breakfast. It's time to ensure that the healthy choices you make are truly nourishing your body from head to toe. To understand what's happening, we need to look beyond the surface of the hair and deep into the intricate world of our own digestive system. After 60, our bodies don't suddenly stop working. They simply begin to operate with a different level of efficiency. Think of it like a finely tuned engine that over time requires a slightly different grade of fuel to perform at its best. One of the most significant shifts happens in our gut, specifically with our ability to absorb certain nutrients from the food we eat. This process, known as bioavailability, becomes less robust. So, while you may be consuming a diet rich in vitamins and minerals, the crucial question becomes, how much of that goodness is actually making its way from your digestive tract into your bloodstream, where it can be delivered to cells that need it, like your hair follicles? It's this subtle shift in absorption that holds the key. Now, let's talk about a concept that might be new to you: anti-nutrients. This term sounds far more menacing than it actually is. Anti-nutrients are natural compounds found in many plant foods, including the very ones we consider staples of a healthy diet, like whole grains, seeds, nuts, and legumes. They are part of the plant's own defense system. One of the most common and impactful of these compounds, especially in relation to our topic today, is called phytic acid, or phytates. It's incredibly abundant in the bran of grains, which is why whole grains like oatmeal are such a concentrated source. The paradox is that in our quest to eat healthier by choosing whole, unprocessed foods, we are also consuming a higher amount of these naturally occurring substances. And for our bodies after 60, this can present a unique challenge that often goes completely unnoticed. Here is the crucial part of the process. When you eat a meal high in phytic acid, like a bowl of oatmeal with seeds, a fascinating chemical reaction takes place inside your digestive system. Phytic acid has a unique molecular structure that allows it to act like a powerful magnet for certain minerals. It actively seeks out and binds to essential minerals like zinc and iron while they are still in your gut, forming a new, insoluble compound. This bond is incredibly strong. It effectively locks up these minerals, preventing them from being available for your body to use. So, even though you've ingested a meal that is technically rich in the very building blocks your hair needs to thrive, this invisible process intercepts them before they even have a chance to enter your circulation and do their job. It's a silent form of nutrient blockade happening right under your nose. To make this perfectly clear, I want you to imagine a secure building with a revolving door. This building is your bloodstream, and the minerals, like zinc and iron, are important people trying to get inside to go to work. The revolving door is your intestinal wall, which controls who gets in. Now, imagine that phytic acid is like the wrong key being inserted into that revolving door. When the minerals arrive with the phytic acid, the key gets stuck and jams the entire mechanism. The door won't turn. As a result, nobody can get through. The important people, your essential minerals, are left standing outside, unable to enter the building and perform their vital functions. They are eventually just escorted off the premises without ever having done their work. This is precisely what happens in your gut when a high load of phytic acid is present. The direct consequence of this jammed revolving door is a significant reduction in mineral absorption from that specific meal. Your body, and specifically your hair follicles, are being deprived of their most critical raw materials. This is why you can take a high-quality multivitamin or eat a mineral-rich diet and still see no improvement in your hair. The problem isn't a lack of ingestion. It's a profound block in absorption. You are swallowing the nutrients, but they are passing straight through your system, chemically bound to the phytates and unable to be released. This creates a frustrating disconnect, where your efforts to nourish your body aren't translating into the results you want to see. Your hair follicles are essentially in a state of hidden starvation, despite your best intentions to feed them well. Let's connect this directly to the health of your hair. Your hair follicles are like tiny, highly active factories that are constantly working to produce new hair strands. To do this, they rely on a steady supply of specific tools and materials. Zinc is arguably one of the most important, acting as a master builder for the creation of keratin, the very protein that makes up over 90% of your hair. Without enough zinc, the entire production line slows down. Iron, on the other hand, is the delivery truck. It's a core component of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in your blood. Your hair follicles are incredibly energy intensive and need a constant supply of oxygen to function. When iron is blocked, the energy supply to these follicles dwindles, weakening their ability to sustain a healthy growth cycle. Over time, this chronic, low-level deficiency of key minerals leads to a process known as follicle miniaturization. It doesn't happen overnight, which is why it's so easy to miss. With each new growth cycle, the undernourished follicle produces a hair strand that is slightly thinner, weaker, and more fragile than the one before. The growth phase of the hair also becomes shorter, meaning it sheds more quickly. So, not only are you losing hair at a faster rate, but the hair that grows back to replace it lacks the substance and strength it once had. This is the slow, cumulative process that leads to that feeling of reduced volume, a wider part, and the disheartening sight of more scalp showing through. It's a direct result of the follicle factory being starved of its essential supplies, day after day. So, to be clear, the problem is not the oatmeal itself. Oats are a wonderful, heart-healthy food. The issue lies in this invisible biochemical interaction that can be maximized by the way we prepare and combine our foods. It's a simple mechanism, but its cumulative effect over months and years can be profound, silently undermining our efforts to maintain strong, vibrant hair. Now that you understand this hidden process, this jammed, revolving door, the next logical step is to uncover the specific, common mistake that many of us make every single morning that keeps that door locked tight. More importantly, we can then explore the simple, elegant solution that provides the right key, allowing those vital nutrients to finally get through and nourish your hair from within. The invisible mistake, the one that keeps that revolving door jammed shut, is not what you're eating, but how you're preparing it. The culprit is the daily, repetitive consumption of raw or improperly prepared oats. I see this so often. A scoop of rolled oats stirred directly into cold yogurt or milk, perhaps with a sprinkle of seeds and nuts, and eaten right away. It seems like the epitome of a quick, healthy, and modern breakfast. It's convenient, it's full of fiber, and every health magazine has praised its benefits for years. This is precisely why the error is so insidious. It hides in plain sight, disguised as one of the healthiest habits you could possibly adopt. Because it feels right and has been recommended for so long, we never think to question the subtle biochemistry that happens once it reaches our digestive system, especially not after the age of 60. This effect is then amplified by what we add to the bowl. When you combine those raw oats with other foods that are also naturally high in phytic acid, like the chia seeds, flax seeds, or walnuts that we love for their healthy fats and fiber, you create what I call a high anti-nutrient load. You are essentially creating a perfect storm for mineral blocking within that single meal. It's not that any of these foods are bad, they are wonderful. But when consumed together in their raw, unprepared state, the concentration of phytic acid becomes so high that it can overwhelm your system's ability to absorb zinc and iron from that breakfast. It's a matter of concentration and combination. Repeating this specific combination day after day is what creates a chronic, low-level deficit that your hair follicles are the first to feel, even when the rest of your body feels perfectly fine. The reason this goes completely unnoticed is that it is a silent process. Unlike other digestive issues, a high intake of phytic acid doesn't cause immediate noticeable symptoms like bloating, gas, or discomfort. You feel perfectly fine after your breakfast. You feel energized, full, and satisfied that you've made a healthy choice. This is the great paradox. You are, in fact, getting the wonderful benefits of the fiber and the slow-release carbohydrates. But at the molecular level, a quiet theft is occurring. The essential minerals are being bound and escorted out of your body without you ever feeling a thing. It's a silent robbery happening inside your gut, and because there are no warning signs, no red flags, the habit continues for years, all while the cumulative impact slowly begins to show up in the one place you can see it: your hair. Let's look at the immediate impact of just one of these meals. The moment that bowl of raw oats and seeds enters your digestive system, the phytic acid begins its work, locking onto the available zinc and iron. This means that for the next few hours, the bioavailability of these crucial minerals from your breakfast plummets. Your body is effectively prevented from accessing the very nutrients it needs to build and sustain healthy hair. You may as well have not eaten them at all for that meal. The door is jammed. Even if you take a mineral supplement at the same time, its effectiveness can be dramatically reduced as it gets caught in the same mineral-blocking traffic jam. This isn't a permanent state, but it's a powerful, meal-specific effect that, when repeated daily, sets the stage for a much larger, more visible problem down the line. The true consequence unfolds over time. One breakfast with blocked minerals won't thin your hair, but when this becomes your daily ritual, month after month, year after year, it creates a chronic state of micronutrient deficiency, specifically for your hair follicles. This leads to that process I mentioned earlier, follicle miniaturization. Think of it as a factory slowly running out of its most important raw materials. With each new growth cycle, the follicle, starved of adequate zinc and iron, produces a hair strand that is slightly weaker, finer, and more fragile than the last. The active growth phase of the hair also shortens, causing it to shed more quickly. This is the slow, insidious progression that leads to that feeling of thinning. It's not just that you're losing more hair, but the hair that's growing back is a shadow of its former self. This cumulative effect is what you eventually see in the mirror. It's the reason your hair starts to look dull, flat, and lacks that vibrant bounce it once had. The volume seems to disappear, and your scalp becomes more noticeable, especially under bright lights or when your hair is wet. That feeling of running your fingers through thick, substantial hair is replaced by a sense of wispy fragility. This change in your appearance can be particularly frustrating because it often doesn't match how you feel on the inside. You may feel energetic, healthy, and full of life, but your hair is telling a different story, one that can make you feel older than you are. It's this disconnect between your inner vitality and your outward appearance that can be so deeply disheartening and chip away at your confidence. And that brings us to the most profound consequence of all, which isn't physical but deeply emotional. While hair thinning doesn't affect your ability to live your life, it can dramatically affect your desire to engage with it fully. It can erode your self-esteem in subtle ways. You might start shying away from photos or feel self-conscious in social situations, wondering if others notice the change. For many women, our hair is intrinsically linked to our sense of identity, femininity, and vitality. Watching it change can feel like losing a part of yourself, a visible sign of aging that feels beyond your control. This quiet internal struggle is often the heaviest burden of all, and it's one that is so frequently dismissed by others as simple vanity, when in reality, it strikes at the very core of how we see ourselves. But here is where the story takes a turn. Understanding this entire process, from the invisible anti-nutrients to the visible consequences in the mirror, is not meant to cause fear. It is meant to empower you. For the first time, you can see the logical, step-by-step reason why your hair has been changing, and it has nothing to do with a personal failing or an irreversible decline. It's a simple biochemical mismatch between a healthy food and an outdated preparation method. And because the problem is so specific and so mechanical, it means the solution is equally specific and wonderfully simple. We now know exactly which key is jamming the lock. The next logical step, then, is to learn how to swap it for the right one, allowing those vital nutrients to finally flood in and get to work. The solution, thankfully, is as simple and elegant as the problem is hidden. This is not about giving up the foods you love or embarking on a complicated diet. It is about a small, intentional shift in preparation. The goal is to reduce the power of that phytic acid before it ever enters your system. And the two most effective ways to do this are rooted in traditional wisdom: cooking and soaking. Both of these simple methods begin the process of breaking down the phytates, effectively neutralizing their ability to bind with minerals. Think of it as swapping out that jammed key for one that fits perfectly. By either cooking your oats into a warm porridge or soaking them overnight, you are transforming them at a molecular level, ensuring that the revolving door to your bloodstream remains open for those essential nutrients to pass through freely and get to where they are needed most. Let's start with the first method, cooking. The simple act of applying heat is remarkably effective at reducing the phytic acid content in your oats. Preparing a warm bowl of porridge on the stovetop or even in the microwave does more than just create a comforting meal. It initiates a chemical change that makes the minerals within it far more bioavailable. As the oats cook, the structure of the phytic acid begins to break down, weakening its magnetic pull on zinc and iron. This means that when the meal reaches your digestive tract, far more of these vital nutrients are free and available for absorption. It's a small investment of a few extra minutes in the morning that can completely change the nutritional outcome of your breakfast, turning it from a potential mineral blocker into a true source of deep nourishment for your hair follicles. The second method, which is perfect for those who love the convenience of a no-cook breakfast, is soaking. This is the science behind the popular overnight oats method, but with one crucial addition. To maximize the neutralization of phytic acid, you should soak your oats overnight not just in liquid, but with a splash of an acidic medium. Just a few drops of lemon juice or a small amount of apple cider vinegar added to the water or milk you're soaking them in is enough. This combination of time and a slightly acidic environment activates an enzyme called phytase, which is naturally present in oats. This enzyme's sole job is to break down phytic acid. By creating the right conditions, you are essentially empowering the oats to neutralize their own anti-nutrients for you while you sleep, making it an incredibly efficient and effortless way to unlock their full nutritional potential. Beyond preparation, a small adjustment in frequency and timing can provide an extra layer of support. Instead of making oatmeal your default breakfast 7 days a week, consider introducing some variety. This simple strategy creates more windows of opportunity for your body to absorb minerals from other meals without any interference. On the days you do enjoy your properly prepared oats, it's also wise to be mindful of your supplement timing. If you take an iron or zinc supplement, it's best to take it at least 2 hours away from your oatmeal breakfast. This ensures that your supplement, which is a concentrated source of these minerals, doesn't have to compete for absorption and can get to work with maximum efficiency. These are not drastic changes, but rather small, strategic habits that work together to create a consistently nourishing internal environment. Now, it is absolutely essential that we talk about expectations, because the body works on its own patient timeline. The hair growth cycle is a slow and deliberate process. This is not an overnight fix. After making these adjustments, the first change you are likely to notice is a reduction in shedding. This can often be seen within 2 to 3 months as your follicles receive better nourishment and hold on to hair longer. Perceiving new, stronger growth is the next phase, and this can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, or even longer. You'll feel it as a subtle return of substance and body when you run your fingers through your hair. The concrete benefit you are looking for is seeing less hair in the shower drain and in your brush. A quiet, reassuring sign that you have successfully reopened the supply line of nutrients to your hair follicles. I want to leave you with a powerful and reassuring truth. Your body is incredibly resilient. The hair follicle is a remarkable structure, and even after 60, it retains its capacity to respond when it is given the proper building blocks. This journey is not about trying to reverse the aging process. It is about working intelligently with the body you have right now. It is about optimizing the powerful, innate resources it already possesses. By understanding this simple distinction between ingestion, just swallowing your food, and true absorption, your body actually using it, you can make small changes that have a profound impact. Your body is ready and willing to build, repair, and thrive. You simply need to provide it with the right key to unlock its own potential. Ultimately, this knowledge is about empowerment. It moves you from a place of frustration and helplessness to a position of control. You now understand the hidden mechanism that may have been contributing to your hair thinning, and more importantly, you possess the simple, practical tools to address it. These small adjustments are a testament to the fact that it is never too late to make changes that support your health and vitality. You now hold the key, not just to unlocking the full nutritional power of your food, but to restoring your confidence and helping your outward appearance once again become a true reflection of the vibrant, strong, and energetic person you are on the inside.